Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Sessions. I'm Cynthia Garrett, and joining me today on piano, well, she's been joining us, period, now. She's a regular part of the Sessions, and you all know Christina Reynolds, but I wanted to do something really special for you guys for this session, and that is a little bit of what I guess we're going to call a Q and song, a Q and S, because I love the ministry of worship, and I love that a lot of times when I'm looking for answers from the Lord, I go right to praise and worship music, and I allow the Lord to minister to my spirit through song. And, you know, for any of you who watch the sessions, I've shared this before, the love language that the Lord has with me is all about song. I mean, he wakes me up nearly every morning of my life with some sort of song in my mind, and it's his way of saying, hey, I want to answer your questions. Hey, I want to talk to you. Hey, spend some time with me. And every time I go to my little prayer room and I put on whatever the song is that's on loop in my mind, God never fails me. He always begins to minister to me in the area that I need help, or he begins to answer the questions that I've been asking of him. He is so faithful, and all of you have a love language with the Lord. And what I'd like to do, I think with this session, I'm hoping that I will be able to achieve this, is that you will discover your love language with the Lord through the ministry of song, through praise and worship, because it's one of the most incredible ways that you can get close to him. And so, since we have a very talented side chick over there, Christina, I really want to kind of take a journey with you. And so let's say you're getting up in the morning. Let's say you're one of the millions of people watching around the world, and you're waking up in the morning and you want to start your day. What's your do you have a go-to praise and worship song?
It depends on what season I'm in.
Okay, all right.
If I'm struggling with depression, it's a certain song. If I'm feeling, whatever. I tend to choose one song. This is the way that the Lord works with me, and the way that he's made me, is I will cling to a song and that has a specific truth that I really need for that season, and I will play it out to death. I will beat that song to death until I can't stand it anymore.
Right, right. So, okay,
so it really depends.
I totally get that. I get that. I think that's why some songs become these big anthems for, for people around the world, because, I don't know, maybe corporately we're all going through certain things, or we need to be reminded of certain things at the same time, maybe. But what song is sort of speaking to your season of life right now?
Right now, it's actually a song that I wrote.
Good, good. You guys have to know, because before this, we were asking, Christina was saying, well, any song? A song I make up, a song I wrote? I'm like, yeah, songs that you wrote, songs that sometimes sometimes you just spontaneously write.
A lot of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I grew up worship leading. Grew up meaning like I started worship leading in the House of Prayer at the International House of Prayer in Kansas City, and a big part of that type of worship is spontaneous worship. So waiting on the Lord, and whatever he impresses upon your heart, you sing, you step out and you sing it, right? And also being rooted in the Word. So we're constantly singing the Word and allowing that to transform our language, to transform our hearts, and to minister to other people. So making things up is what I love to do. Or whatever you want to call it, prophetic worship or spontaneous singing, improvising, whatever.
Right.
So I for sure do that as well. Yeah.
So is there something hitting you now, like to start this session, or a song that's sort of punctuating the season of life you're in now? Just like a few bars.
Yes. I would say that the Lord has had me in a place of preparation, and a place of, yes. And what I mean by that, it's actually similar to another session that we had a while ago with Corey about just taking time to be still and to trust and focus on the first and second commandment, and to allow him to build that foundation through doing that. And it's really hard to do that. Because, you know, we're very like, let's get stuff done. I have all these ideas. I want to create. I want to do this. I want to do that. I see things that are wrong. Let's fix it. You know, and being able to be still and just fall into the grace and the mercy of the Lord and let him cover you is really hard.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of my songs are pretty angsty because I'm like, I don't want to, but I'm going to do it. You know, so I do have this song. It's called Falling.
Okay.
Yes. So I'll,
Give us a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
I'm tired of leaning on my own strength, and I'm tired of fighting for my own way. Been wasting time doing my own thing, but now I realize I just need to know what you're saying. So what do you want to do? What do you want to say? Lord, how do you want to move? I'm giving you control, be everything I know. I'm finally letting go, and I'm falling, 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 falling. I give in, I give in.
I'm gonna cry.
So is that not so? I feel so, like I said, angsty, because what I found is that when I can't let go and I can't just fall into it, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do things out of my own strength, and the Lord doesn't. He never gives me favor when I do that.
Oh my gosh. I mean, for anybody watching, you probably get this really deeply. I don't think he gives any of us favor when we try to do it in our own strength. And your song like immediately said to me, God's waiting for us to fall into him.
Yeah.
He's just inviting us all the time.
Yeah.
So, gosh, okay, so when you're feeling like, let's say you woke up this morning and you were feeling, man, that song punctuates so much. Wow. But do you ever wake up and you just feel joy, like happiness?
Yes, I do. And I have to say, like, as I've gotten older, I feel more and more happy. Because I would, like I said, I tend to write a lot and connect with songs that are about pain. Because I feel like I've never really found a lot of worship songs that connect with that. And I hate to be like the gloomy, dark, and like emo girl, but I've always kind of connected with the dark side in a sense, like the dark emotions, and have felt a lot of authenticity there.
Yeah.
But the Lord has been giving me so much joy.
Yeah.
The older that I've gotten and the more that I've learned and I've like gotten to know him.
It's so true. I've seen a lot of your journey, and no, I mean, it's true. Like, I've been blessed to be your friend, you know, and it's like I mean, even though you say you connect with the angsty, and it's true, because I think anybody who's always digging in, you want to grow more, you're always looking for the deeper, you know, thing that God wants to reveal. So there's always that angst and that pressing into and using the pain to be victorious and to pour out into others. But there's also, in that process, there is joy.
Absolutely.
You know, and so I've seen more joy, just more and more joy around you, like more and more peace in your marriage and with your kids, and it's just awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So what have you written a song that really reminds you of your joy in the Lord?
You know what? I'm really thinking hard right now. I think because it's been such a trying season.
Yeah.
Not recently, but songs that I really press into when I'm really happy is singing about the worthiness of Jesus. Because when I'm feeling exhilarated and everything, and I'm seeing his hand in my life, all I can do is praise, and pray, praise and worship, and just tell him how awesome he is. And so I have written a few of those types of songs, but interestingly enough, those songs have come out of pain as well, like the upside, the other side of pain. But one song that I've felt, I don't know, I keep coming back to it. It's a song that we sing all the time at the International House of Prayer, and it's sung everywhere. It's called Worthy of It All.
Oh my!
And I think I've already sang it a couple times on the show, but that song hits me because it is, at the end of the day, He's worthy. And when I'm at, the heights of glory or in the depths of despair, I'm like, you are still worthy. And
For from you are all things, and
Yes,
to you are
yes.
all things, you deserve the glory.
You deserve the glory.
That song makes me cry with joy all the time.
Yeah.
And I learned it there with you guys at the House of Prayer. It's where I first heard it.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, it's like when you really realize that he's worthy of it all and that everything comes from him, there's such joy in that.
So much
Because it
joy.
takes all of the pressure off.
Yeah,
Like-
totally. You can lose control.
Yeah.
Because he's in control. What's funny actually is there's a ministry called the Upper Room, and they have a prayer room as well. And I love them. I
I've
love that
heard about
ministry.
it.
Yes. And they have a live clip of this where they're singing the song, and there's like some spontaneous stuff in it. But it is one of our family's favorites. So when we do our morning routine with my family, our spiritual worship, whatever, we have breakfast, and then we worship together with like a YouTube video or something, a worship YouTube video, and then we'll pray and stuff. But my kids love the one that is this song, because it's very joyful and everyone's dancing and they're watching people praise on television and they're copying them, their mannerisms, the way they sing, and I catch them singing the song all the time.
It's so
So-
awesome. There's so much in what she just said. Like there's parenting lessons there. There's all kinds of stuff in what you just said.
Yeah.
But we got to give them a treat.
Okay.
Because this is for all of you who really need to be reminded that he's worthy of it all.
Yes.
And all the saints and angels, they bow before your throne, and all the elders cast their crowns before the Lamb of God and sing, you are worthy of it all. You are worthy of it all. Hallelujah. For from you are all things, and to you are all things. Oh, you deserve the glory. You are worthy, Lord. You are worthy of it all. Jesus, you are worthy of it all. There's no one like you, for from you are all things, and to you are all things. Oh, you deserve the glory.
Amazing, right?
I love that song.
I love that
David Breimer.
Yeah.
Thank you, David Breimer.
Yeah,
That song.
love that song. You know,
Yeah.
when you were singing, the Lord felt like the Holy Spirit said something to me about you in relation to other women who may be watching, or other parents and people who might be watching. And I felt like what I heard was that there are women, or probably some men, but who've dealt with abortion and the shame of abortion. And then the Lord reminded me of the pain of your journey when you lost your child this past year.
Yeah.
And I felt like the Lord said that there's something in song that he wants to minister through you to our viewers out there who are dealing with having lost children, whether by their own choice or just having lost children through circumstances or what have you. What
Yes.
song got you
Okay.
through that, girl?
Got me through it. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's actually, there's layers to this, because I gotta give you a little bit of context, because leading up to, so basically the story is we lost our daughter, Alexandra. I had a miscarriage at 20 weeks, which is quite far along. So I mean, I thankfully got the gift of getting to birth her, and we got to spend we spent like 8 hours with her body. Got to just like have some closure.
Yeah.
Got to pray and just mourn. And right before that, I had it was pretty much like a 2-year struggle with my faith leading up to having the miscarriage. I was already questioning, like, God, are you even good? Like, I can't hear your voice. I don't see your goodness. All I see is the deficiencies of your people and how I've been hurt, And
Yeah.
so I had this whole wrestle in my heart. It was for 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years of going,
Get it.
I don't know if I still think you're good or if I even want to continue this relationship with you. And what's crazy is that, and that was a lot of turmoil for me. There's a lot of depression, a lot of confusion, a lot of doubt, because I just gave 11 years of my life to him. Like the strength of my youth, for real. Because I'm in my 30s now. I gave my 20s to God, and I felt so like empty and broken.
Yeah.
And then we got pregnant, and then we lost her. And what's so amazing is that it was in the moment of our complete loss and despair, it wasn't even despair, it was just like, what?
Right.
Of our pain, the Lord showed up so strong through his presence and through his people. And he took all of that, the pain of the 2 years, and turned it around and showed me, this is where I was. This is who I am. This is who my people are to you. And he completely restored my heart and restored our family. And I think that, I'm not saying that it was him he's not the reason why my daughter died, but he turned that horrible situation and brought so much beauty and restored our family. And so the song, the reason why I'm saying that is because during that time, it's like a month afterwards, my friend who actually, we were pregnant at the same time, and she found out that she wasn't pregnant at all, it was cancer. So we had both gone through some insane, so she had to go through chemo and everything, but she came and visited, we're like best friends, and she was like, my friend showed me this song. It's a song called Defender by Rita Springer. And the words are so powerful. But I listened to that song for like 3 months and would just cry. Had it on. I would be cooking eggs. I would laugh and tell my worship team I couldn't even cook eggs. I would stand there at the stove and just cry and bawl. Because it was like when I was so weak, this song fought for me. And this song held me up. And everything that she sang was, it kept me going.
It's so powerful what you're saying, because I heard so strongly from the Lord that this was also going to be for women who are struggling with having had an abortion. And everything you just said, I think most women who struggle with that issue would feel that God doesn't love you. You're feeling all the same things Christina felt.
Yeah. And
he's still your defender.
Absolutely. I'm just going to read you the lyrics real quick before I sing it, but this is the part that got me every time. The whole song is about how the Lord defends you, clearly, because the song is called Defender. But the way that he defends and what we do in that, all we do is have to work. All we do is sit, and we let him do it, and we praise and we worship, and he does everything. And it's the bridge that gets me every time. She sings, when I thought I lost me, you knew where I left me. You reintroduced me to your love. You picked up all the pieces. You picked up all my pieces, put me back together. You're the defender of my heart. So that to me speaks of every time that I lost myself, he knew the whole time, and he was there to put me back. Yeah. And it's over and over again. You see him in the scriptures, and you see him in your life. His mercy is new every morning. Yeah. And there is no shame, and he doesn't get weary or tired. He's not concerned, like, Hannah had said in the previous session about he's not freaked out about you. Yeah. He's got it, so.
Yeah, who was it? Was it you who said to me? It was you. It was you who said to me years ago, it's interesting, and it's a lesson I've never forgotten the statement. And you basically said that. You said, you said eventually you learned that, God's not surprised by your mess. He's not surprised.
Like you told me that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I heard that from you first. I don't know. It's really good when we don't know who said it to each other, because
it's all circulating.
Yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. But for those of you watching, you have to understand, God's not surprised by your mess. He's not put off by your mess. Your mess is not too big for him. Your pain's not too big for him. Whatever it is that you're going through, he's just not surprised. It's okay. You can bring it to him, and he's your defender.
Yeah, and he fights for you all the way at your weakest moment. I think what's so twisted is that we as humans think that when we're at our weakest, we need to therefore suck it up and fight for ourselves, because no one else is going to want to. Right. But that's where he comes in, and he loves to do it. He's longing to do it. Yeah. So I don't know. You gotta I feel emotional just thinking about it.
You got to give us a sample now.
Okay. I mean, I don't even know if I can just only sing one part of it. It's just so good. Okay.
You go before I know that you've even gone to win my war. You come back with the head of my enemy. You come back and you call it my victory. And you go before I know that you've even gone to win my war. Your love becomes my greatest defense. It leads me from the dry wilderness, and all I did was praise. And all I did was worship. It's all I did now. And all I did was bow down. And all I did was stay still. Yeah. And hallelujah, you have saved me. So much better your way. Hallelujah. And hallelujah, great defender. So much better your way. 'Cause when I thought I lost me, you knew where I left me. You reintroduced me to your love. You picked up all my pieces, put me back together. You are the defender of my heart.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That song.
Yeah.
It was like my bread and butter for like 3 months.
Yeah, you want to know what's really a trip to me is that someone else's song got you through.
Yeah.
You know, the songwriter, the one who
No,
gets
yeah.
the song. You know what I mean?
It did.
Were you unable, in a certain sense, to even create?
No, I couldn't. And that's why I said, this is what I love about worship. And something, it's like a revelation, whatever. It's just a little thought that I got the other day was, wow, when I'm unable to will myself to believe or to muster up the strength to go to the word, or, you know what I'm saying? It takes energy to do that. And when you're at like your lowest and you have nothing in you to believe and your faith is so weak, that's where the power of worship comes in. Because it comes in, the Holy Spirit breathes on it, and you get to just soak in his word, in his truth, puts a melody, which is way more powerful.
Yeah.
And it changes. It not only inspires, it encourages, it empowers, it changes your mindset, and that's why I love it. It fights for you. That's why I kept getting this phrase. The power of worship is it's there to fight for you when you can't fight for yourself. And
It says, the song says everything. I mean, there are so many times in my life where I've been going through things and I couldn't pray. I think like you, like I'm just sort of like, I'm mad at you. I'm gonna try to come out of this, Lord. I just don't understand. But worship, like all I have to do is put on worship.
yeah.
And you're right. It's almost like all of a sudden in the spirit realm, something releases so that God can war over your spirit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so crazy. But Christina, it's why I like your song. You know this, Christina's written a song called "You Are My Great Reward," and it's probably the song that I really I met you in. It's because it's an old song of yours. But I'm always reminded in worship that He's my great reward. Like He is the thing that I'm living for and fighting for. That's it. Like everything else can fall away, but for for any of us who know him and have fallen in love with him, the reason why, it's funny, sometimes people will ask me questions or question my faith, or, I see people questioning faith around the world, and I just look at them and I smile, because so many of our brothers and sisters have this need to like explain and argue and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just kind of like, I really don't care if you get it. I've had a really deep and real encounter with a living God, and all of this is gonna fade away, but he's my great reward, man. He's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that song actually, again, came out of a place of pain, a lot of loss in our family, and a lot of tumultuous things that literally you can't even control. You know what I'm talking about? When things happen, you're like, there's actually nothing I could do. There's no amount of money that could even fix this, no amount of power. It's just, wow, this is just really bad. And the way the Lord works with me sometimes is with certain songs, he just gives them to me. Like, I literally am just the vessel. I know it sounds like false humility, whatever.
No, I
own
get
it.
it.
But sometimes literally he just drops it.
Yeah.
And I write it down and I'm like, I didn't even work for that. And this was one of those things I felt like was such a gift, because out of a place of pain, he gave me this to comfort me and to remind myself that he's my great reward. And when, like you said, when everything is stripped away, everything is shaken, he stays constant, and it's not like, oh, cool, so you like me, but everything else I have to give up. No, he's everything. The word says that he fills all in all. So if I get God, then I get everything. And he restores, his character. I may have lost my daughter, but I will get to be with her forever if I continue to love him, So, I mean, nothing is lost.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, anyways.
Well, you might have to give us a...
Yes.
Now I guess, in closing, I think it's the perfect place to kind of let you take us out in this session, is just to remind you guys that the reason why I think this session is so important and so gratifying for me is because, we have been given a great reward for our faith. And if you don't know the Lord, you just take a minute and listen to the ministry of this song and ask him into your life and into your heart. And he's there for you, because he wants to be your great reward also.
Everything is shaken and everything is taken, when circumstances come to tempt me, when death and sorrow surround me and pain it tends to grip me, I still believe that I want to be like Mary, sitting at your feet, lavishing my love upon you.
Hi everyone, it's me, Cynthia Garrett. I hope you're enjoying the sessions. And I just wanted to encourage you to pick up a copy of Prodigal Daughter, A Journey Home to Identity. It's my testimony. And I always say that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Our testimonies are our story of what God has done in our life. So I hope that you'll share this journey with me through my book and through the many lessons that God taught me through sexual abuse, rape, cancer, being a single mom, and dealing with all kinds of issues just like every one of you has dealt with. Prodigal Daughter. I hope you'll pick up your copy today.